Hi everyone, my name is Jay and I'm here at the In-TAC National Headquarters, and today we're going to share with you the journey of an In-TAC client, a newcomer to Canada or a former newcomer to Canada, Mr. Eric. And we thought it would be great to share Eric's journey with you because a lot of you are soon probably going to make the journey that Eric has made earlier this year. So, it's great to have Eric here sharing his journey with us and with you guys, and thank you for your time. So, Eric, good morning. Thanks for coming.
Good morning, Jay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Why don't we start just yourself sharing your background, where you're from, your educational background, perhaps degrees, certifications, and then your expertise and your career back in your previous country, which you can share with everyone where you're from.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here. My name is Eric Barrow. I'm from Nigeria. I'm a finance professional for about 15 years. I actually studied economics. I also have an MBA. I'm a chartered banker also. I've worked for about 15 years in the banking environment. I've been a branch manager for about 3 branches. I've also been a compliance officer in a pension firm. Sometime 2019, I and my family actually decided that, okay, I think we're going to take a leap of faith and come down to Canada because of a lot of things that it offers. So we started a journey, and finally we landed here in December 2019. And it's been quite interesting. We came here down when it was so cold and all that. So I think when we arrived in December, when we just came out of the airport, I almost ran back when I saw how cold it was. But I was some miles away, so we came out, and here we are right now. So enjoying every bit of it.
So you're a tenured professional in finance,
Yes.
banking particularly in Nigeria. With how many years experience did you have in banking?
Okay, I had about 12 years in banking, then
Mhm.
about 3 years also in pension administration.
Pension administration. And what type of banking? Retail banking or what line of business?
Yeah, my journey in the banking industry is quite vast. I've actually worked in almost all the sectors. I started as a retail officer. Gradually, I moved into commercial banking. Then eventually, my last segment was actually corporate banking.
Mm-hmm.
While in commercial banking and retail banking, I was also a branch manager for about 3 branches.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was more of a branch manager than even an account officer, because I think I was a branch manager for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
As a branch manager, you tend to have, you do all of them. You do retail banking,
Mm-hmm.
you do private banking, you do
Mhm.
commercial banking,
Mm-hmm.
and a bit of corporate banking.
Yeah.
But eventually, my last time in banking was actually as a corporate banking officer. That entailed managing a lot of corporate clients
Mm-hmm.
around the country. I was managing corporate clients in about four states in Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
So I did a lot of traveling and all of that. Enjoyed every bit of it.
Great. And so therefore, you probably had a lot of knowledge, experience to hopefully implement or share in the Canadian financial
Yes.
services sector.
Yes, I did.
That's the idea, and one of the motivations to hopefully
move
immigrate
here.
to Canada,
Exactly.
which happened. And as you said, one of your first barriers was just, wow, how cold it was. But what are some other barriers that, some of the viewers would be curious to know? What were some barriers that you encountered when the early days here?
Okay. Banking is actually peculiar to every environment. Banking is the same, we'll say in quotes, because it has to do with intermediation of funds. You get funds from Mr. A and give to Mr. B. A lot of things take place in between. So it's the same in quotes. But the thing is the environment is not the same. There are a lot of terminologies also that are not also the same. The Canadian banking sector and IT sector is actually one of the best, one of the most advanced you have in the world.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're coming down from Nigeria, yes, we're pretty advanced also in Nigeria, but you're coming from from a country that's trying to catch up, and you're coming down to one of the most advanced. There's quite a lot to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So there was some bit of knowledge gap that I had to quickly see how bridge. Also, I needed to understand the environment, because every particular environment you come to has some peculiarities. So I needed to understand the environment. I also needed to understand the culture of how people work down here and relate with each other down here in Canada. So a lot of things I had to do. I had to understand the industry to even know how to go about trying to get myself into the various industries. So those are some of the challenges I had. And I talked to somebody, and I saw it as an opportunity also to look beyond the finance world, because IT has finance has a component of IT in it.
Yeah.
So I saw it as an opportunity also to learn a bit of IT, to see what it has to offer and all of that. And those are the things that I saw that In-TAC was offering. In-TAC has an IT bridging program, which is just fantastic. The components, what they actually, the knowledge impacted there is priceless, because beyond the culture and all of that that we were exposed to while we were learning, we're exposed to understanding how the resume works down here, understanding how the culture works down here, how the work environment is, the workplace is also here. We're exposed to a lot of IT professionals, and I learned so much from them. Not just me, a lot of my colleagues. So that was one of the things I enjoyed here in In-TAC.
Okay, great. So let's get into that in a second.
Okay.
But you mentioned, of course, some of the barriers,
Yes.
such as lack of knowledge of the Canadian banking and financial sector, or gaps between maybe best practices in the Nigerian financial sector versus the Canadian financial sector. You also mentioned the fact that you felt that the Canadian financial sector or banking sector is perhaps more advanced than Nigerian, for lack of a better phrase. And these were some gaps related to your profession and to your expertise, barriers, as you and I said. Now, and you mentioned In-TAC and some resources that helped you. I guess what I'm trying to say is, of course, did the In-TAC services, or what services helped you bridge those gaps? Because you shared with the viewers the gaps. Maybe if you could dig deeper into what In-TAC services did in regards to the gaps that you identified, and how did you even hear about the International Talent Acquisition Center in the first place?
Okay. Actually, I got to know of In-TAC through a relative. She had actually gotten to know about the services, and she was quite pleased with it. So she just told me that, okay, I think the best thing for you is to actually get in touch with them to see how they can actually help you to fit in quickly. So that's how I got down here, and I have not regretted a day of it. In terms of how In-TAC helped me to bridge a lot of the gaps I actually talked about, I think I will start with firstly with the resume. The resume we use down in Nigeria, we call it curriculum vitae, that's CV. Is a bit quite different from what we have down here. You start with the normal thing, you talk about when you're married. In fact, there's certain times you have to talk about the number of children you have. So, so it's totally different from what you have down here. We had a class down in In-TAC that actually took us through on the resume. We also had a class, we had a section that they talked about even interviewing skills. Because it's one thing for you to actually know what to say. It's another thing for you to communicate it. So we had a class that actually took us on that. We also had a class that talked about the Canadian culture, the environment generally. How to relate with your colleagues, how to relate with your neighbors and all of that. We had a class for that, you can imagine, something ordinary, nobody will teach you. You learn on your own and make a lot of mistakes. We had a class for that. Then going to the technical, I particularly, I chose the IT class because of the what I said earlier. I saw that there was an opportunity to learn more of IT, because IT makes the world go round. Finance is going digital and all of that. So I chose the IT class because of that. So, and I learned so much. We had a lot. We had classes on cyber security. We had classes on business analysis, project management, the IT industry down here in Canada and all of that. So all of those things. So my skills they bridge my skills in terms of letting me know how it works down here, and also gave me great insight into the industry here, which I'm putting to work right now.
Yeah, very, very interesting, and thank you for the thorough answer. And as you said, you saw the extent to which IT is seeping into many aspects of work, and particularly your sector, financial services / banking. And so, when you landed, it was a good opportunity to sort of upgrade or expand your knowledge within IT, and how that probably realistically meshes with finance, or what people call fintech now.
Fintech, exactly.
Right?
That's the word.
Yeah, that's the word. And thank you for relaying, different aspects of the IT bridging training program. If there was, now you might not be able to answer the question, but if there was one, specific moment or learning that really resonated with you, one or two things. Is there one or two things, or one aha moment that you had, or not necessarily?
Yeah, I had just one, but two classes particularly. I think the one on cybersecurity, because it's IT, like I said earlier, makes the world go round. Now, for everything that is great, there could be a bridge. So particularly the class we had on cybersecurity, that actually opened my eyes to how vast the IT environment is, and the need to actually have adequate security in place and all of that. And also, not just having a security in place also creates an opportunity, for the industry to also grow further. So I enjoyed that the class, and got quite a lot of knowledge from there, which I'm putting to work right now. Also, I think I would say the one I also found particularly, I think the best, if you ask me, is that of business analysis.
Yeah.
One has been doing a lot of business analysis since I started my career, but I never knew I was doing one. I had to go into that class to know that I was doing one. So that's one thing I actually I enjoyed quite a lot. And I would say, after the class, I've actually been putting it to a lot of the knowledge I gained to work. What we're taught, how to go about our activities, elicitation, there's so much. So I've been putting a lot of it to work, and it's helping me a lot in my my career right now.
In your current career.
Exactly.
And let me ask you, if you had any feedback for someone like myself, or representative of In-TAC, is there something that you would want us to know, or implement in the future, or anything come to mind? I'm just curious.
Yeah, I will. But before I come to that, there's something I missed, which I would actually want to touch.
Sure.
I also came to the In-TAC class for an opportunity to network. Network to actually see how I can actually get myself going, get my career moving and all of that. And I achieved that. Maybe thanks to In-TAC, thanks to you also, I was able to achieve that. I sat in my home. I was at home sitting down when I got a call from an employer, and I was asked, "Is that Eric?" Normally, it's the other way around. It's usually the other way around, whereby I would actually have to go into various places to say, "Okay, I'm Eric. I can do this. I can do that, and all of that," and present my resume. But it was the other way around. I was right in my living room when I got that call, and the recruiter particularly said, "Okay, I've gotten a brief on you and all of that. I'm pleased with you, but I want to hear from you, you know, and that's how it started. And before you know what, 2 weeks down the line, I got a job, and I even had to. I told them, okay, I'll resume in about 2-3 weeks time, and they said, okay, no problem, we'll wait for you. But that is not the story with a lot of people. We have a lot of people that actually came in much earlier than myself to Canada. They've not gotten a job till now. For some that have gotten a job, their jobs are actually not my kind of job. You know, mine are, I sit in my office and all of that, though I work remotely for now. A lot of them are actually engaged in a bit of, I would say, more of manual and all of that. So that's just the advantage with working with In-TAC. One of the great advantages of working with In-TAC. In terms of feedback to In-TAC, I think I have only one thing to say in terms of In-TAC should keep doing the great job they're doing, keep helping a lot of immigrants, and just keep sewing. I think that's the only thing I have to say, because they're doing a great job.
Well, thank you, Eric. And thank you so much. And why don't we share your success story? You haven't actually revealed to people what you do.
Okay.
You know, you've talked about your previous expertise in Nigeria, and how you sharpened your skills in terms of the IT space in Canada, fintech a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and you, as you remarked, and as I am aware, yes, you were a quick success story. You know, you landed a professional position in your career, or a little bit of a new space pretty quickly. And what do you do, Eric?
Okay. Right now I work with Global Payments. It's actually a payment processing company. I'm actually a business development rep for the company down here in Ottawa. As you can see, Global Payments is a fintech company.
Fintech company, yeah.
And really, going to In-TAC, my target was actually to get into the IT environment, and particularly I achieved that. Would I have achieved that if I hadn't come here? I would say a big no. So the working with In-TAC got me going down here in Ottawa, in Canada. And really, 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 every day I just, I am so pleased and so happy with the decision. What I do down here, what I do with Global generally was just to see how I can reach out to clients to get them on board in terms of handling their payment processing needs and all of that, which is basically a fintech role and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge space, and so it's accurate to say sort of you're an account manager for some of the corporate clients of Global Payments, and the integration of the global payment system within the corporate clients, etc. And as you remarked, it seems you had a goal to maybe pivot a little bit in Canada. Sometimes it's a good time to make a move when you're making a move, right?
Yeah.
So you had a goal to maybe a little bit get into the tech/fintech space.
Exactly.
And it's really wonderful that you were actually able to achieve that.
Yes.
And yes, you had some help with your friends from In-TAC, but now the ball's in your court in terms of your fintech career in Canada, right? And what are some, if you have goals? I mean, it's your first year. If you're a smart man, you probably learn and really succeed and bring value to global payments for the next few years, in my opinion. But we all can think big or go to the next level. And what's on the horizon for you in the next 5 years, do you think, professionally in Canada?
Yeah, I think in the next 5 years, I think I see myself becoming like maybe a senior manager in one of the IT firms down here. Maybe I think I should be putting the business analysis skills I learned from while with you guys to work. Really, because even right now, my work entails a lot of the things I learned. The networking skills, because a lot of ways the communication down in Nigeria was totally different down here. You know, here you need to learn how there's some icebreakers that we're taught. in class and all of that. So I've put that a lot to work.
Okay.
And that's helped me quite a lot because I'm able to see how to penetrate some clients and all of that. I think putting all I've learned and all of that to work, I see myself becoming a major player in the IT environment.
Hmm. I hope you will. I'm sure you will. Right.
Yeah, I will.
Lots of opportunity here, and but you have to put the work in, don't you?
Yeah.
As well.
Yes.
But it's good that In-TAC could help you with the foundation. But of course, you had great knowledge, experience, education to get your first role in the fintech industry. And it was really interesting to hear your story and to share it with some of the viewers. And thank you for providing some insight into some of the bridging programs that are available here that you leveraged and led to success. So, regardless of In-TAC servicing, or even regardless of your own journey, because you've shared your own journey today, the last thing I hope you could share with the viewers is just general advice for them, because let's assume these people watching aren't not as far along the journey as you are now. And if someone like that were listening to this interview that we're doing today, what's some knowledge that you would like to share with that person?
Okay. I think the major thing I would say is, a lot of us come down here with a lot of skills.
Mm-hmm.
But also, while coming down here, we're going to meet a lot of people that are also highly skilled here. There are a lot of opportunities here, as a fact. But there are also a lot of criteria that have to be met. So I would say the core thing that they have to do is actually to see how they can find a means to actually acquire some bit of knowledge about that environment, and also find a means to network. To get that knowledge, there will be a need to actually find organizations that can actually offer you that. Make some bit of time for that purpose. Mm-hmm. Set up some time, because just don't come in here and start running, because you might end up running, and at the end of the day, you're not going to meet any target. So get down here and find some organizations that can help you to get some knowledge before you start running. So you're going to run with some bit of targets in mind. Not that you're going to run, there's no target. So I'll say that's the core thing. And an organization like In-TAC will help you with that. You also need to have a means to network, because down here, and also in other places, you need to actually network. My job, for instance, it was because of networking. It's not easy to actually sit at home and somebody calls you to give you a job, because literally that's what I actually got. So you need to network. It's network is key. So you need to find a means to do that. And most importantly, like I said, find an organization that can actually help you fit in. And I think In-TAC can actually do that for anybody coming in.
Well, thank you very much, and thank you for sharing your journey.
Thank you.
With the viewers, and sharing some knowledge for those that are not as along the journey as much as you are. So that's great, and I think it's been really insightful, and I hope that the viewers learned something today from Eric and his journey. And it's been a pleasure to personally work with Eric over the past 6 months, because luckily you happened to come here to the national headquarters in Ottawa. But we do, as you guys know, have our online resources as well, regardless of where you have landed in Canada as a newcomer. So it depends where you're going. And some persons might be still in Nigeria, or still in India, or still in China, or still in Philippines. So you are welcome to leverage some of our online resources. And I just wanted to, once again, thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
And
anytime because I keep repeating it. It's not actually easy to actually achieve to settle in. So it's my pleasure. Anytime I'll come in.
Yeah, no, it's not easy. It's not easy. Hey, it's not even easy for long-standing residents or Canadians to pivot in careers, or if you're out of work to, get something in your career. So let alone a newcomer that's landed for the first time in their life.
In a different industry also.
Different industry, different country. So we're happy we could help you. You can find us online, Facebook, LinkedIn, or www.in-tac.ca. We also have Canada's largest online national career expo or jobs fair, which has its own domain, which is www.intacexpo.com. So that's in-tac-expo.com, which is a very interesting event that you can access from the comfort of your home computer, regardless of where you are in Canada, or perhaps if you're a pre-arrival Canadian from your computer overseas or your home overseas. Eric, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Do you have any last words to the viewers?
Well,
sign off.
It's a pleasure being here. Look forward to actually seeing you down here in Canada and hopefully here in In-TAC. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.